Let's do it. So, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Ike MMA podcast, and I have with me here in my midst Ciaran Clarke, who recently won. Should I say it was by TKO or by a just decision at your last match at Bellator 275 in Dublin?
Sorry, you said it was a TKO. It was a TKO, yeah.
No, because I saw the fights and you won, but I think from the way it looks, you didn't win the way you'd want to. You want to go in there and get a really, really good, decent, really insane the crowds and get a good, really good finish, something that's deserving of the title TKO. I mean, after that win, I mean, how are you feeling with 5-0? I mean, there may not be much, but still, for on the professional scene, for someone like yourself, that's really, really good.
Yeah, so obviously, I suppose two questions in the one there. To answer the first, I suppose it was great to get the win, of course, but at the time it was bittersweet because I hadn't a clue really how the break happened or what happened to my opponents and the whole lot. In the moment, you just you're good. You're not able to show you're not in the moment. Didn't know it actually did happen, and I wanted to finish the fight myself. But it's only when I actually look back and actually a friend of mine and my brother pointed it out to me, because I didn't know how it broke. Or some people are telling me injuries and stuff. It was the AC joint, and they told me, watch it back and see where you actually broke it. And I was like, right, so I watched it back because a day or two after the fight, I wanted to just clear my mind of it. I didn't want to be watching it back straight away. Wanted to just get away from it for a day or two, obviously, before I watched it back. But anyway, I watched it back, and if you watch it, it's in the first 10 of the fight. I was on a double leg, and I sit through, and he would come over for the Kimura, and I clamped down on the Kimura, and I rolled through. And as I rolled through, sometimes what happens is if you get a good clamp on it, they'll roll over their head, and you'll end up on their back, and they'll sit up. But what happened was with my opponent, I got a good bite on the Kimura, and as I rolled through, his shoulder smashed into the mat, and then that's obviously what happened to the shoulder then. And you can see when it happens straight away, he stands up and it's out of place straight away. But he kept fighting on, and he kept fighting. He went for the win, and he would have won. I think he would have won the round, and he went for it. But in my eyes, he quit. Like he stopped in the stool. He stopped. Like I look at my teammate Sinead. The next fight, she banged up a leg the first minute and ended up winning. So she fought one leg and my opponent fought one arm, but he decided to stop. So obviously looking back, it was most definitely a TKO win.
I did watch the fights, and but before I did, I kind of saw somewhere that you had won, but how you had won is that there was some sort of doctor's stoppage that had happened, just that the doctor had intervened, and I watched the fight really closely. I saw how you performed. You took a lot of abuse, but you still came out on top. I watched how the fight went. I watched the footage really closely, and just when you guys were stopped, I think your opponent's walking around. I can see just on his shoulder, they can see something's protruding beneath the skin there. So I realized, wow, that's well, I wouldn't have thought that's like a broken shoulder or anything like that, but it was actually a serious injury.
Oh no, definitely it was a serious injury, all right. But going back to what you were saying about a doctor's stoppage, so if my knee goes, okay, and the doctor comes in or whatever, like if he hadn't said anything to the referee or looked at the ref or said anything, the fight would have continued. I didn't know what happened to him. If he, it's the exact same as Sinead Kavanagh. If she hadn't said anything about her knee, nobody knew, you know what I mean? Unless it's visibly, it's a boy. So he straight away, the round ended, he looked at the ref. He knew it was out in the fight, he knew. And he wanted the doctor to come in. So look, I don't want to get into too much. At the end of the day, it happened. the way it did. But the more I look at it, is he wanted the way, you know. I think he went for it. He tried to win, and I think then it was like, you know, I'll put like, I don't know what his mindset was. Maybe he was putting it down to a doctor stoppage or what, but he stopped it. You know, if he'd have said, the doctor had come in and looked at it and said, yeah, your AC joint's out, he'd have said, no, I want to continue. I want to fight. The fight still goes on. It's not as if, you know, the referee comes in and you have a broken foot and you say, I want to continue. The ref doesn't say, no, I'm not letting you go in there. You know what I mean? It's not like a cut that like you will die, you know, like cuts, you'll bleed out, stuff like that, you know. Actually the week before the fight, 2 weeks before at the Nationals, a former teammate of mine and a teammate of mine actually fought in the Irish Nationals final. Colin Matter, his name is, and he fought against Jordan Fury. Very good fight. But the first round, exact same thing happened to Colin. AC joint went out. You could see it in the fight. And he went on to win the fight. He decided to continue, went on to win. So the way I look at it is, my opponent, he decided to stop, you know. Obviously, he didn't decide. He didn't stop for no reason. His shoulder was out, but he decided to stop, you know. So I'll definitely take that as a TKO. Not the way I wanted it. Of course, it's not, you know, it's not a clear cut, you know, the way. But it was something that he was fighting me. It was something I done to him. I rolled through on the Kimura, on the we call it the half guard sweep in the fence, and I put his shoulder onto the mat, and that's what happened to him. So, I mean, yeah, it was more clear cut to me than how I actually won, if that makes sense. Whereas, like, I didn't know like how it actually happened, or, you know, I was like, oh, did he? You know, I hadn't a clue like how was it when he was on the Kimura with me, and you can actually kind of see it in the fight, like the stuff he was going for, like the Kimura, definitely. It was a bit of a desperation move, like he didn't have his legs in play, and he was, you know, I was mounted on him, and he had a Kimura, like, you know, you'd never get that, you know, but he was holding on to it, like, you know, it was a desperation move. So everything makes more sense to me as I watch it back, his mindset, you know. So, and actually, one of his fights he stopped it in the corner before with his knee before. So that's actually his second loss now to something similar. So, but anyway, yeah, that's the more I digest the win, that's what happened, you know.
You see, you kind of touched on something there that a lot of people have been debating about, both podcasters, retired MMA affiliates, both the athletes and just coaches and commentators. I think there was a conversation I remember that happened sometime last year for a UFC fight that had been stopped. I can't remember the event. I can't remember the two athletes. So I think it was the fight that happened towards the tail end of summer last year between Bilal Muhammad and Leon Edwards. And not Leon Edwards, but Muhammad had stepped in to replace someone because I think was it McIver. He was replacing anyone, replacing someone anyway, and the fight stopped because Edwards had twice poked Bilal in the eye. And later on, some podcasters were saying that if I was the fighter, I'm not going to leave it up to the doctor. I'm not going to leave it up to the referee or whoever, because it's your life, your fight, your career. You've got to think of your salary and your future. If you want to continue fighting, or if you're going to retire, but you have to consider your future prospects nonetheless, because it's your life. It's your life. The other people, they're not that concerned about you. So, in your own eyes, if the situation was turned the other way around, even with that injury, I don't know, it might sound silly to ask you based on what you just said a moment ago, would you still continue to fight?
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously, I've had a labrum tear before, and I was sparring before, and I tore my labrum in a spar, which is it's a ligament on your shoulder, and I tore my labrum before in a spar. First round, I was suplexed and posted it in the mat, and bang, I felt it go, you know. And I didn't stop in the gym, you know. I kept going, you know what I mean. It's so you know, you're a prize for it. You're fighting for it's, you know, you're fighting for the win, bonus. You're fighting for the win, you know. So me personally, no, I wouldn't have stopped. No, like, I mean, I'm only stopping if I'm put to sleep, or if you know, some brutal injury like Conor's or something, you know, that my shin snaps in half, or, you know, you're gonna fight to the end, you know. We're fighters, you know what I mean. So no, I would have kept going, of course. And you mentioned the eye poke, that's a completely different thing. Eye pokes, it's illegal. it's illegal. It's unfortunate how it happened. Whereas what happened with my opponent, I done it to him. It wasn't as if it was some, he threw a punch and, his shoulder came out, or, he didn't injury in. If you actually watch the fight, break it down, you'll see exactly where it happens. And so yeah, people can be the judge of that. But look, to be honest, I don't want to go on too much about it. It's again, of course, it's not the way. Still not the way I would have wanted to win, but yeah, it's a win, and onwards and upwards from here. It's going back to the second part of the question. It's great to be 5-0 with Bellator, 5 wins in Bellator, and yeah, I'm just looking to keep it going. Please God, get one now in the summer. No plans. Haven't had any word back. My coach John is away at the minute with Brad Katona. He's fighting for the Brave World title at the minute, so John comes back, have a chat, hopefully get one in the summer. I don't know how things are going now with Europe. I'd imagine every year they were coming to Russia and stuff, so obviously that's out the window now. I don't know, obviously the May cards is full, and so is the French one. So I'm not too sure how the summer's looking for me, or I just want to have a chat with John, as I said, and hopefully get one before the end of the year. So that's the plan.
In terms of your fight record as how it stands now in the professional sense as a pro fighter, I was going to start the interview by saying, and many people have said not to mention this guy's name when you're talking in mixed martial arts, especially on the Irish scene. But I was going to say, move over Conor McGregor. There's a new kid on the block. I was thinking, okay, maybe you might even kind of shut me up a little bit by saying, no, we're not there yet. So.
Oh no, geez, no, definitely not. No, no. It's, and look, there's only ever going to be one Conor McGregor. There'll never be another. People can act like him, and but that's actually him. That's it. That's the way he always was. I started this sport in 2011, before he was a Cage Warriors champion, before he was on the rise. And as long as I know him as a fan watching him, that's the way he was. That was his gig. That the whole that was Conor. So there'll only ever be one. I don't think anyone will probably transcend the sport like him, like he did. It's like Muhammad Ali. I think there'll only ever be one. So I think when people compare, I know obviously Ian Gary there now in the UFC and stuff, and you can't compare these lads to Conor. The likes of, just to use an example, Ian's in his own journey. All of us on our own journey. So don't get me wrong, we take motivation and are inspired by Conor, of course, but yeah, I suppose mentioning that now ever to anyone is very, you can't, in my opinion, regardless of where they are in their career, how well they're doing. Yeah, I don't think it actually would do Conor justice, because what he has done is, tenfold. I mean, it'll never be done again, in my opinion.
Now, I mentioned your record, and your record is really good, 5-0. If you maintain this, and let's say in the next 5 or 10 years, and you still got a really good record, would you see yourself staying in Bellator, or would you? I don't think I've asked you this before in the last interview that when we had you on with David. Would you ever see yourself maybe going onto the UFC side of things, whereby you will, as everybody knows, you will sacrifice your salary for the fame, I guess, because you're attached to a household brand name, especially in the US, to be at least to be exposed to a wider audience of fight fans.
Yeah, well, to be honest, number one, Bellator are very good to me and have given me great opportunities. I've started my pro career with Bellator. I signed a second contract in the end of 2020. I'm just after starting that, just the way it happened with the pandemic. I only had my first fight in November on that contract. So to be honest, I'm not even thinking that far ahead. Like you said, granted, I kept the winning. I had a good record and stuff, and by the end of it, but to be honest, I'm happy where I am at the minute, and I'm just looking forward to the next fight, to be honest. And I don't like looking too far ahead, because you know, whoever they give me next is going to be a tough fight, like everybody has been. And you know, I think when you look past that, it's yeah, it's just not good. It's just not good, you know, because
Mm,
you know, what's in front of me is that's all I can focus on, you know. So
mm.
I just want to focus on each fight, take it as it comes. When the time comes, when I'm out of contract or whatever way it works, so you know, I'll worry about it then, you know. But as of now, I'm very happy with Bellator. They treat me good. They give me good opportunities. You know, they come to Dublin twice a year. You know, hopefully now I get one in the summer. You know, I'm happy, and obviously John and my coach and my team has a good relationship with them, and so I'm happy, you know. So I just want to keep progressing, get each fight as it comes, take each one as it comes, and keep climbing the ladder, you know. Just on my own path, you know. So yeah,
Oh, no, that's good. That was a good answer because a lot of the people that I've interviewed, they are in fighting promotions that maybe they're not as well known as as the number one brand, the UFC or even Bellator, One Championship or PFL, and they're saying that they told me more or less the same thing that you said, that it's not the name power or the money or so that really entices them. Okay, maybe the money to some extent, but they're really more concerned about how the promoter treats them. You know, a lot of people have said that no, the UFC would not be my number one choice. In fact, Bellator wouldn't be my number one choice. It'd be another promoter, maybe somewhere in Europe or somewhere in the Far East. So, you know, I think things are probably changing for the up and coming fighters. That are that are rising through the ranks. So maybe hopefully the UFC will not be, and I don't say that to bash them, but you know, in terms of pay and how they treat their fighters, the UFC will not be holding on to that number one spot for much longer. And things hopefully will change. Um, so how are things going now? Just you're just taking it easy, you're not training as hard, you're just eating what you like, and just you're living life normally.
yeah. So just I they normally take the week off regardless of how the fight went. I literally came out not scratching me in this one, thank God. Apart from the one before that, I came out banged up, you know. So I come out not a scratch this one, thank God. And yeah, I just took the week off because, as I said, you know, you need that week to decompress. You need a break from the travel because I travel an hour to and back from the gym in the mornings, and I train then the evenings in my back here in hometown. So take a break from that. You know, it's a lot of money to travel. You know, take a break from all that, and you know, all the washing and you know, eating out of a lunchbox for you know 2 months, 2 to 3 months, and you know, just take a break from me. You know, just
Mm.
completely switch off and just relax. You know, enjoy. And to be honest, I feel very motivated to get back. Then, you know, which was this week. I took last week off. Uh, a week off, Monday back to the gym, and you're enjoying your training then, you know. So I'm this is my first week back, and I'm really enjoying it. You know, back coaching, back training, and just getting better from now into the next one. Really enjoying it. You know, just watching the fights back, seeing where I can improve, and yeah, just going forward, enjoying the training, and hopefully, please God, have good news for the summer. Maybe I'm not too sure, but that's really the plan. Really, yeah.
Oh, good. I'm not sure how political you like to get about things in the sport, but I'm sure you've seen the recent developments about something serious that happened with Kane.
Yeah,
I can never get his name properly. His Spanish name, Velasquez.
Velasquez.
Velasquez, yeah. What's your take on that? Because I was surprised that I am actually what he did is understandable completely because things for his child, you know, for the rest of her life, she's not going to be the same anymore.
Yeah,
Um, but actually support what he did. But a lot of people in the mixed martial arts community there's actually I've seen at least one video that has actually condemned people supporting what he did.
right,
Yeah, no, I think it's actually a UK based podcaster.
right.
I forgot his name. But what's your total take on the situation? Because I thought people would actually be happy for what he did because what happened was serious. I
Yeah.
mean, what's your opinion on that? If you like to answer, because I know it's something a very sensitive area topic.
Oh no, I mean, Like, it's completely what he done. I completely agree with, and I think anyone that's a man or any morals at all, of course, it's you know it's not an eye for an eye. This world, I get it, but to be honest, who could hold back on what he done? And I think any one of us, would have, So I completely agree with. And I don't know. I just think there needs to be more. I can't even believe like people even like of course it's a headline and people get behind it. He's an MMA fighter and he's an MMA legend, and that's the whole I suppose the thumbnail on YouTube, and it's the headline, and I get it, but I mean I don't see the big deal as in like what he done, or I think everybody should be in the same boat. It's completely understandable. Any one of us would have done it. As I said, I think the guy was lucky, to be honest. So that's the way I look at it. Anyone that really is, has another opinion, I don't want to listen to it. It's like, so yeah, I would agree with what happened, and I think 99% of us are on the same boat. So yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on now at the minute. And, I do know what happened and stuff, but I don't actually know like the ins and outs of what's for him, or So
Yeah, that's one of the points that I will admit that the podcaster did raise that. Okay, granted, a lot of the people who are 100% supporting what Kane did, without looking at the facts, that he did say that they were wrong. And okay, I admit that, but I don't. I think that the Kane would have considered all those things. I mean, I don't think he would have gone and done it for no reason. I mean, that's a serious offense. I'm sure that the evidence would have been clear. This person did this to my child, and I have to do something, even though he knows that his child, as I said before, will never be the same again.
yeah,
But still, okay. The facts of the case are still unraveling. Although I think they've said they've denied bail for Kane, that he's going to be remaining in police custody while the case plays out, and there's a trial, and they're going to decide and rule and see what happens. But yeah, I guess we just have to wait and see what happens, what the end result of the whole case is.
I'm sure the way I look at it is he probably will be punished. I don't know. Like, I mean, what he done is what he done. I think it should be more what the other guy done. You know what I mean? It should be like, what's he getting? Type of way. So, some would say, right, he's got it already, but like, I mean, there has to be justice some way. And as we all know, sometimes, well, look, we won't get too much into it, but justice isn't always served in the hands of the law. So, yeah, that's the way I look at it. Kane done what he had to do as a man, as a father, and again, the whole MMA community is behind them. And of course, it's going to be like anything political when it comes to things like that, but there's going to be people against it. But yeah,
No, well, the whole MMA community who are sane are behind him, apart from that one podcaster. Yes. Well, Ciaran, thank you so much for coming on. It looks like you're about to head off somewhere.
yeah, just a bit to head off here now. Just out in the car, so just a bit to head off out here. So it's quiet as well. So, and it's a bit of a scenic change,
For
So,
sure.
yeah, so just decided to get into the car today.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I will leave all your bio in the description below. But I'm sure by now, I don't think I need to do that, because people, they know who you are. I mean, you've got a good fight record, find a big promoter that Bellator is a big name, and yeah, you're I'm sure in your area in Ireland that you're well known. So people know who you are just by looking at the title and seeing your face in the video.
Yeah,
But
hopefully, anyway.
no, definitely they will do. Definitely. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and definitely we'll look forward to the next one. Definitely.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.
Cheers, man.
Yeah.